This is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
Well, gone are our nice days that we were treated with here over the past few days. It is still somewhat spring-like out there, but in the form of rainfall. Todd, just take a look at this.
Yeah, you know, that camera's on the pagoda, so it's a little elevated, but yet locked in with the clouds. You can barely see the towers over here as you look really close. But yeah, we've replaced the warm temperatures with a cold front, which is also helping to produce some rain showers now all across central Indiana. Here's a live look at Storm Team 6 radar, and most of the rain is generally on the light side. That is the good news, but there's some pockets of moderate rainfall here in Bloomington, just north of Nashville, down towards Shelbyville as well. Then as we come to the north into the metro area, some showers in Brownsburg, Lebanon, Noblesville, over towards Anderson. If it's not raining in your neighborhood, it has that damp feeling out there and maybe a little bit of patchy drizzle, and then some spotty showers here to the north as well. We'll expand out, and you can see the transition here in northern Illinois as the colder air is coming in. There could be a little bit of a light wintry mix as we work our way into the evening hours, but a lot of this rain shower activity is going to make its way through as just plain old rain before that transition takes place. We're a state divided, 38 right now in Peru, 42 in Indianapolis, still close to 60 degrees in Bloomington, 55 in Columbus as that cold front continues to sink to the south. We'll continue to have these showers off and on this afternoon. They should start to wrap up by about 6, 7 o'clock of this evening, but until then, have the umbrella handy. A better chance of a wintry mix enters the forecast tomorrow night into Thursday. More on that coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. New this midday, Kokomo police are investigating after they found a man bound with duct tape in a bathtub shortly after police found a woman dead of a gunshot wound. Officers were called last night to a home on Cortland Avenue and West King Street in Kokomo. That's where they found 25-year-old Lachey Young dead in the backyard. Later, they found a 24-year-old man inside the home. He was bound with duct tape over his mouth, wrists, and ankles. The man told police he had been held in the house for 11 days and that he was beaten and burned with hot water repeatedly. The man was taken to a hospital and his condition is not known at this time. But if you have any information that might help Kokomo police solve this case, you can call them at 765-456-7017. In the race for the White House, the results of the Iowa caucus are still on hold. It's due to complaints about the new reporting system. Their state Democratic Party says it's still validating the numbers before releasing them later today. But a number of candidates went forward with what seemed like victory speeches, including the former mayor of South Bend. ABC's Trevor Ault has more.
After months of campaigning and millions of dollars spent in Iowa, Monday's caucuses were expected to finally bring us some clarity, and instead we have a bit of chaos.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a long night.
As the results were supposed to come in, a domino effect of problems. Several issues with the new app where results were to be inputted, login trouble, reporting confusion. In an overnight conference call, the party saying it now expects the results sometime on Tuesday.
We are validating every piece of data we have against our paper trail. That system is taking longer than expected, but it's in place to ensure we are eventually able to report results with full confidence.
But the delay didn't stop the candidates from spinning the lack of results into what seemed like pseudo-victory speeches.
By all indications, we are going on to New Hampshire victorious.
When those results are announced, I have a good feeling we're going to be doing very, very well here in Iowa.
We know there's delays, but we know one thing. We are punching above our weight.
With the actual results in flux, the candidates now jetting off to New Hampshire, already looking toward next week's primary. And with many questions surrounding the troubles in Iowa's vote counting system, the acting Secretary of Homeland Security telling Fox and Friends,
I would say right now we don't see any malicious cyber activity going on.
Nobody hacked into it.
No one hacked into it.
Trevor Ault, ABC News.
So what happens now, especially since we don't know the actual vote totals yet? Our political insiders are here, Democrat Kip Tu and conservative commentator Abdul Hakim Shabazz. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining me this afternoon. We are still waiting here, noon, on Tuesday. We thought we would know these results late last night. What are your thoughts about this waiting game we're sitting in now?
All I can think of is that you guys in Iowa, you had one job, just one job. Your job is to simply count the votes and move on to the next thing. The New York Times had an interesting story this morning just about all the big problems that they had with their system. The big problem doesn't seem like they even tested it as well as they should have to make sure that all their poll workers were going to be fully informed on how to use this app.
It's a bit of an embarrassment. There's no doubt about it. We'll forget about it in a couple of weeks, just as we forgot about it when Mitt Romney was declared the winner in 2008. No, 2012. I'm sorry, 2012. And then it turned out that Rick Santorum had won the thing, and then Ron Paul, and then he got indicted. A bunch of people around him got indicted. So it's a bit of embarrassment. They shouldn't have done it that way. The real people who are hurt by this process are the folks who might have won. I mean, it could have been Pete Buttigieg giving a victory speech. It could have been Bernie giving a victory speech, and neither of them got to do it. So they don't get that momentum that they want to have when they get to New Hampshire.
But we did hear some of those candidates kind of allude to thinking they did walk away the winners. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on that?
Declare victory, run away, and who's going to dispute it? Right. Because now, I would argue the whole process is now tainted. And so how do we know that the vote count is accurate? We know with technology, the Biden people, I think, have done actually a pretty decent job of spinning everything, asking a lot of legal questions, even though it looks like Joe would probably have come in fourth out of fourth, but now that's all lost in the shuffle of, this just major screw-up.
Well, I don't know that there's anything nefarious going on. They do have paper trail, which is a very important thing. I think everybody in the state of Indiana will be concerned about a paper trail. There's a lot of counties in Indiana who don't have paper trails. It's very important. They'll be able to go back and look at every piece of paper, which is what you really need in these modern elections.
All right. Well, we will be hearing a lot more from the two of you as election season continues. Thanks so much. We have run out of time for now, but I appreciate you joining me this afternoon.
Well, we keep a paper trail, though, what we do.
Of course. Thank you, guys. Regardless of how Iowa turns out, the candidates have already moved on to New Hampshire. That state's primary will be next week. The only Democratic debate before that primary will be right here on RTV6. Live coverage starts at 8 o'clock this Friday night. Right now, people are putting on their red dresses and getting ready to run around Monument Circle. The Red Dress Dash is part of American Heart Month as they try to bring more awareness to heart disease, especially among women. That is where we find our Lauren Casey just ahead of the dash. Lauren, it looks like there's a bit of a crowd there despite the rainfall this afternoon.
Well, yeah, Meredith, we're here in the MS lobby, and you can see behind me, folks are starting to stream in. We're staying inside right now, out of the cold and rainy weather behind me on Monument Circle, but we're gearing up. We're going to head out there to dash around the circle, as you said, and it's all in the name of heart health. This is part of the Go Red for Women campaign, raising awareness about the importance of heart health. And so I want to bring you over here to Dosha Stewart. She's part of the executive committee who puts on this event and so many great events this month. Thanks for being here. This is an exciting day.
It is. I mean, it's great to see all the men and women out here celebrating women and empowering them to really advocate for their own heart health.
And so this is all about raising awareness and making healthy choices. And February is a whole month to do that. You guys have a lot of big events coming up. Can you kind of run down what folks can expect after today, the big kickoff?
Oh my gosh, there's so much going on, and it's a lot of fun. So first we have on Friday, it's National Wear Red Day. So we encourage everyone to do that. We also have a lot of events like CVS that has free health screenings throughout the month on Thursdays. And then at the end of the month, it all culminates with the Go Red for Women luncheon downtown on February 28th.
All right, well, we are looking forward to partnering with you guys and getting involved in all these events, raising awareness about your heart health. We got to get busy. We got stuff to do, and running around Monument Circle is coming up. So if you're at home right now and you're downtown or you work downtown, that's going to take off around 12:35. So there's still plenty of time to head out here today. Meredith.
Lauren, thank you. The trial is winding down and the outcome is assured. Coming up, what Democrats hope to accomplish with the final vote on the impeachment of the president. Todd.
And as you walk out the door, have the umbrella handy not only today, but into the day tomorrow as well, as it's a very active weather pattern, which does include some freezing rain and some snow. We'll let you know when that arrives coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast. You're watching the news at noon right here on RTV6.
Premieres next Tuesday on ABC.
The final vote is a foregone conclusion, but Democrats are hoping that the scheme revealed leading up to the impeachment trial of President Trump will resonate with voters this election year. Final arguments are wrapping up today, with more senators talking about why they plan to vote to convict or acquit the president on the charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. And as expected, Republican senators are mostly arguing that while the president did pressure Ukraine to investigate his political rivals, they believe that isn't impeachable.
I cannot vote to convict. The Constitution provides for impeachment, but does not demand it in all instances.
You can't trust this president to do the right thing, not for 1 minute, not for one election, not for the sake of our country.
The final vote will not be close to the 2/3 majority of senators needed to remove the president from office. You can expect the impeachment trial to be brought up by the president at tonight's State of the Union speech. The president will give the speech, followed by the Democratic response given by Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer tonight. Live coverage begins at 9 o'clock here on RTV6, theindychannel.com, and on the RTV6 Facebook page. Looking for a last-minute date night plan? We'll be joined by someone who could help give you a magical night downtown. That's coming up.
800-2-KELLER for a free consultation.
I wanna wake up where you are. I won't say anything at all, so why don't you slide?
The concert announcements continue to come in. One of the biggest bands of the 90s is coming to the amphitheater at White River State Park as a part of their summer tour this year. Goo Goo Dolls announced their tour this morning. They'll be in Indy on Thursday night, August the 6th. Tickets go on sale to the general public this Friday morning at 10. Wow, August
high school years.
6th. That sounds like light years away, like your high school years probably feel, Todd.
They are in the rearview mirror, a long ways behind me at this point.
Yes. Well, ahead of us is better weather, I hope, right?
No, not really. You know, it's going to probably get worse before it gets better. We're coming off 2 record high temperatures in a row. Today's kind of that transition day back to more seasonable and colder weather, and we're dealing with this rain making its way through central Indiana as well. Here's a live look at Storm Team 6 radar. And the good news is most of this rain is just light across the area, and it's pretty scattered in nature as well, with a few pockets of what we'll call moderate rainfall here up towards Lebanon, over to Noblesville, into the Muncie area. We slide to the south. It's light, but fairly steady here. Bloomington to Nashville, over towards North Vernon. And that's just about it as far as what's currently happened. But this is going to continue to last for a little while longer here throughout the afternoon and into the evening hours, because look how far back off to the west it stretches. This rain goes all the way into northern Arkansas. And then you have the wintry component here as well, as the colder air starts to make its way into the area. So our highs have already occurred for the day today. These temperatures have been dropping all morning long. We're now down to 42 in Indianapolis, 30s to the north, and temperatures are in the mid-50s as you work your way into 2 southern locations. So we will continue to see this colder air start to work its way into the area throughout the remainder of the day, and we'll kind of level off with temperatures that will be in the 30s. So now as we work our way throughout the afternoon hours, we'll start to see that wintry mix develop across parts of the area here throughout the evening hours. And as that happens, I'm not expecting widespread issues here across the area. We're just talking about the potential for maybe a few slick spots heading into Wednesday morning. Now, going forward in this forecast, much of tomorrow is going to be dry. It's not till tomorrow evening that we start to run into some issues here, and it'll be a close call with the tail end of the evening commute. So make sure you tune in to RTV6 and Storm Team 6 throughout the day tomorrow. And you notice initially it comes in as some snow, a wintry mix down to the south, and then we'll kind of transition, and at least along I-70 tomorrow evening, to more of a freezing rain event with snow to the north in Lafayette as well as Peru and Kokomo, and it's just rain down to the south. And then this will continue to make its way out of the area throughout the evening hours on Thursday. So tomorrow the temperatures will be sitting in the 30s. It's the evening hours that we start to get into the wintry weather issues. It's probably less than an inch inch of snow here along I-70. But once you get, say, up towards Lafayette into Tipton, Marion, Hartford City, points to the north, it's probably about 1 to 3 inches of snow. But in this area where I have less than 1 inch, it becomes a little more of an issue with freezing rain. And we could see up to about 1/4 inch of freezing rain. So any way you look at it, Thursday morning's commute is going to be probably pretty tough across the area with the potential of some slick spots across the area. And of course, with freezing rain, it's always a fine line. So we may shift that band a little bit throughout the course of the next 24 to 36 hours. Once the storm departs on Thursday, we're talking about quiet weather into the weekend. Meredith.
Todd, thank you. It is the magic of Las Vegas here in Indianapolis. Unfortunately, they did not bring their weather with them. And when we say magic, that is what we mean.
He would have brought it. I'm here.
Weather in Las Vegas?
It's probably better than here, dry and warm. Well, tonight, Taylor Martin's Indy Magic Monthly show has 3 magicians with Vegas connections for you at the Indy Fringe Theater. One of them is with us, Baron Stringfellow. Taylor Martin is the producer, also joining us. So let's talk a little bit about what we can expect this evening.
Well, it's our 160th show. And Baron got a hold of me about 5 or 6 months ago. So why don't I bring this to Indianapolis? And I said, well, we've got one opening, and there he is.
Ta-da.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Baron Stringfellow.
And when are we? We're tonight?
We're tonight at 7 o'clock at the Indy Fringe 11 Theater. Get there early because there's a lot of things happening downtown for parking. Tickets are available at the door or at indyfringe.org up until about 5 o'clock.
All right. Well, whenever Taylor visits us, a magician is brought with a different trick. What have you got for us today?
Well, I wanted to do something completely impromptu, no planning whatsoever. So, no planning whatsoever. I hope my wife is not back in the green room watching this.
Okay.
She does not know I have these.
Oh.
Yeah, well, not allowed. This is a little something that, please don't try this at home. This is a little something that I train the federal government with. We talk about counterfeiting money.
Okay.
What you do with counterfeit money is just tear it up and throw it away.
Okay.
That's bad information today on Channel 6.
Oh.
Yeah. What I do with counterfeit money is I tear it up, stir it up.
Okay. And that's just black coffee?
Completely destroys it in the black coffee.
Okay.
Yeah. And turn it into real, legitimate. And this $100 bill has had its caffeine. It's ready to go.
Okay.
Just like the show tonight.
The ready show tonight, yep.
And it's my souvenir now from this interview, right?
Absolutely. You can't have it for the rest of your life. you cannot have it.
All right.
Gene Whitlock and Jim Keplinger are also with us tonight. Show starts at 7. I'll be doing an opening act, and we will see you tonight at 719 East St. Clair at the Indy Fringe Building.
All right. Thank you so much both for joining us. We have run out of time, and we have got to get to our pet of the week. This is Betty, and she brought along her baby with her. Hi, Betty. Oh, she's distracted. All right, Todd will chat with Betty coming up here after the break.
800-850-5054.
All right, it's that time of the week again for our Inhumane Pet of the Week. And we have Gabby with us here today. And we have Miss Betty here. And Miss Betty pulled off your mic, Gabby. So here, we're going to hold this up for you in just a little bit.
Awesome.
So you just want to hold that a minute. Let's talk a little bit about Miss Betty here, because she's a fun, loving little girl, about 3 years old. And she is looking for a home where she's going to be the center of attention.
Yes,
right?
yes. So Betty is the type of girl who can get along well in most homes. She's very cuddly. She loves her toys. As you can see, she's picked this toy. She takes it everywhere the whole time she's been with us. Very friendly. She is undergoing treatment for heartworms right now. So she is a foster to adopt situation where if you're interested, you would bring her home and just bring her back to the shelter for all of her treatments. And then once they're finished and finalized, the adoption is finished and she's ready to go home forever.
All right. And so if you like a dog to be sitting on the couch with you, sitting on your lap, and an active dog maybe you can go outside on a run and walk with.
Yeah.
Miss Betty is perfect for your home.
She is.
All right, if she fits your plans, head to the Humane Society, and she could be yours to take home. Let's take a look at your 7-day planning forecast, because there's quite a bit to talk about. It's mainly just some rain showers here throughout the remainder of the day, with temperatures falling back down into the 40s. Tomorrow we run into a wintry mix late in the day, so we're probably talking closer to the evening commute or the tail end of it. But then overnight Wednesday into Thursday, it's probably going to be a mess across the area for morning commute. Snow to the north, freezing rain through the central portion of the state, and just rain down to the south.
Todd, thank you. We are out of time. Thanks so much for joining us. We hope you have a great rest of your afternoon.